and welcome to the Capitalist Death Parade with your hosts Joy Marie Mann and Josh Radio Hedge. It's a podcast where we discuss the dystopian hellscape of capitalism that we call our home. Hey everybody, it's me, Josh Radio Hedge.
And Joy Marie Mann. And one of these days I will keep a straight face at that intro. But it's just, I don't know, you're so good at the voices. It just cracks me up.
Do you know my best voice? Do you remember the movie voice guy, Don LaFontaine? I'll give you a hint. In a world set upon by capitalism, only one man and one woman in a podcast could have the wherewithal of the chutzpah. I don't know.
I do remember when we were at Occupy DNC and NPR was there, and you're like, ah, and just broke out with a song, and they recorded you, and I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
Oh, my Bernie opera. Yeah, I literally had a friend who heard it and sent me a link, and I lost it since then, so I don't know where it would be. But it was exciting. I was like, oh my God, I made it onto NPR singing pro-Bernie opera music. Hooray.
And it was back when NPR was good, too. Yay.
Back when NPR was funded. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. All right. Well, so we have an amazing guest tonight. Of course, we have the Lee Camp. We'll bring him on in just a little bit. But in the meanwhile, I wanted to address the major issue that is happening right now. Trump's FBI is subpoenaing Hasan Piker and the Code Pink co-founder Medea Benjamin. Let me actually share this so y'all can get a little peek of this. I'm sending it to you now. But it's some shocking stuff. They were a part of a group of activists that were bringing aid, like literal aid, to Cuba, since we're intentionally starving them right now of food, electricity, medical equipment. And they literally went through lawyers, did everything correctly, crossed every T, dotted every I. But Trump, being a vindictive shit, has now apparently there are subpoenas coming. This is per reporting from Fox News, which I have that pulled up as well. We'll take a look at here. Before we go into the details of it, I just want to say this. It is alarming. It's more than alarming. Like, what we've seen the weaponization of law. We're watching it happen with Comey, etc. But I mean, this is crazy. Like, this is literally trying to weave crimes out of thin air where there is no crime in an attempt to smash your political, your ideological enemies.
Well, Medea is, all 4 feet of her. I'm 5'2", and she's up to my elbows. She is the biggest threat in DC because she is so sweet and so tiny, and I don't know how she keeps it together. She is so nice, so professional, and she just goes up to these warmongers and she just says it the best possible way you possibly can. Because me, I'm like, fuck you. But she does it correctly. And that's why she gets in to meet everyone. And she deals with a hell of a lot. And because she has that demeanor, and because they've never had anything on her, she is so fucking dangerous to them. They are so terrified when they see her coming.
Oh, I bet. And from what I was reading, she has made literally dozens of trips to Cuba making these aid drops. So it's what this really comes down to is what they're trying to do is a chilling effect. They're trying to make you afraid of going to Cuba the same way they're trying to make other aid activists afraid of going to Gaza. Like, this is not an accident. It's all coordinated. It's all on purpose. They very, very, very much want people terrified of helping their fellow human beings.
Yeah, they want it to seem like a betrayal. We are doing this to these people, and if you go and help those people, you are betraying your country because you're saying we're going to fix what our country is doing because we disagree with it. which means you are anti-American.
Well, and when it comes to food aid and shit, though, I'd love to see that case get all the way to the Supreme Court. Let's roll. Because at the end of the day, like, are they really going to rule that Americans don't have a First Amendment right to feed the hungry because somehow that right is superseded by America's right to starve an entire nation on purpose? Like,
Well,
I
I
want to see them
mean,
try to justify that. Come on, do it, bitches.
well, I mean, look, stranger things have happened. Furthermore, we've seen it weaponized all over this country for years. People
Yeah.
getting arrested because they don't have a vendor license because they're handing out food to the unhoused. People getting tickets because they don't have a vendor license and they're literally just giving unhoused people sandwiches. I mean, this has happened all across our country for years and years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, these really are unprecedented times, and that's such
Well,
a cliche,
yeah,
but it is. You know,
it's true.
something I was thinking about is when Trump was president in 2016, remember, it was this huge joke because people kept quitting. It was crazy. Like they would join his cabinet and like a week later they'd quit. And it was like people breaking records because they would just like no one would stay more than a few weeks, maybe a month. And like so many of his people are still there, which is terrifying because that solidarity makes it stronger.
Yeah. Well, and it's solidarity based on fear. I mean, that's the
Of
shittiest
course.
part that people don't like to talk about. Like I saw somebody today being like, why don't Republicans have the spine to stand up to Trump's lies? And it's like, I don't know. Did you see what happened to, I don't know, Massey,
Exactly.
Marjorie Taylor Greene? It's not an accident. When Trump calls you a traitor, he knows what those words inspire.
Yeah.
He knows they will receive unaliving threats. He knows
Yeah.
their families will receive unaliving threats. He knows they will
Absolutely.
have to hire personal security guards to protect them and their families just being out and about in society now. And
Yeah.
Trump knows this. Like
Yeah.
we played it on a previous show. Marjorie Taylor Greene, like literally, was texting back and forth with him and said, "Sir, these comments you're making, there are people threatening the life of my child." And Trump's like, "Well, if something happens to him, I guess that'd be your fault, wouldn't it?"
Hmm.
It's like he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. Jesus.
And then
Well,
he they also have the terrorist state of Israel riding on them as well.
yeah, true. Well, let's dig into this a bit because it's not just Hasan and Medea. So, investigation is part of a broader dragnet involving as many as 40 American citizens who joined. They call it a Marxist convoy to Havana. Fucking Fox News. But I just wanted to go with. I knew that they would at least give you some info, even though it's not correct info. I was curious in Fox's spin. I went with it. Here we go. They were the breakers of the story, you know. Federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Parker and Code Pink co founder Susan Medea Benjamin as part of a wider investigation into whether the U.S. Organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime. Piker and Benjamin are among those caught in a federal inquiry into whether activists who traveled to Cuba in March violated U.S. sanctions laws through the financing, coordination, or delivery of goods to Cuba. So there we go. There it is. They brought criminal food to the starving.
And you know, you guys may know my dear friend Reverend Annie Chambers. She is a Black Panther revolutionary. She's 83 now and has done anything and everything with, you know, literally every revolutionary in the universe. And she went to Cuba many times and actually was friends with Fidel. And, you know, I'm interested to speak with her about this because she faced a lot of shit when she would go back and forth for this. And we've talked about it numerous times, but she definitely was not subpoenaed. So I'm kind of curious what she would have to say about the length that this is now going to.
Yeah. And speaking of the lengths that this is now going to, literally, you got Fox News paying, what are they called? DM, no, not DMZ. No, damn it.
TMZ?
TMZ. My brain completely evacuated. I was like, oh my God. But no, Fox News paid TMZ for a shot of Hasan Piker walking his dog so they could put it in their little article. And I just love stuff like that. But they're keeping TMZ photographers in business. So thanks, Fox
Wow,
News.
he looks like a fucking psychopath.
All right, look at him. Look at him in walking his dog.
And that looks like a golden or something, or a lab.
It's a
Damn.
big
Those
fluffy
are
whatever it is. I don't
deadly.
know. Indeed, deadly.
Wow.
So yeah, I think this is so damned alarming because, like I said, we're looking at 40 different people, all people who literally just brought food aid. What they're trying to claim is that they used an illegal hotel when they stayed in Cuba. But the funny thing is, they went with Medea, who's been doing this for decades, who did it with lawyers, and so they specifically went to the only hotel that you were allowed to go to that still was within stupid ass American laws. And that's where they went. And so now they're trying to say that even that is a crime somehow.
See, this is bananas to me because I've been, an organizer and activist for a little more than a decade, but I've only ever done it in our country. I wouldn't even know you have to get fucking lawyers to do this. To me,
Yeah.
it's like you're traveling, but you're bringing food. Like, she's obviously been doing it a while because she knew you had to get lawyers, and apparently that didn't help.
No, because again, Trump is doing the lawfare bullshit. Like, I mean, literally, again, he's going after Comey for writing numbers in the sand, with seashells. Like, we are at a really weird fucking inflection point where DOJ is being weaponized to that fucking extent.
If this works and Medea and Piker get charged, this is going to set a precedent that it's really dangerous. I mean, they've tried to do this in Palestine by, unaliving aid workers, but also, Biden cut off UNRWA. They have been, aid workers have been penalized, harassed, beaten, RSA, you name it. And this is just another way for them to kind of try and make it legal in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very alarming. We'll get you guys more info as it comes in because literally all this info just dropped in like pretty much the last 24 hours. But I don't know, it really scares the shit out of me because what it looks like, and this is what Ken Paxton was saying. He believes that, or I'm sorry, Ken Klippenstein. My bad, Ken Klippenstein, totally different Ken. He thinks that this is DSM-7 related and that they're using that new directive for the federal agents to be targeting people that are considered anti-American. And I guess giving food aid to the people America's starving on purpose is considered anti-American terrorism now.
So here's the interesting thing. I didn't hear anything about this. I haven't been online today. And what I've been hearing a lot about Hasan, truthfully, I've never watched his show. I know who he is, but I've been hearing a lot about him the past week or two. There's been a lot of articles about how Democrats are going to him to be their it guy to help them get elected. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how left someone can be if people like, Elizabeth Warren is reaching out to help get his advice on how to get elected when she's an AIPAC whore. So that's why I'm like, it's going to be really interesting to see who, if anyone, actually has his back if he's been working with these people to get them elected.
And I wanted to note, in the realm of AIPAC, I mean, he's been fighting so hard against Israel, against the
Then
Hasbara
why would
campaign.
you help Elizabeth Warren?
Well, he's a believer in strategy. I mean, he openly talks about it. He's like, you can't win on ideals alone, and that is correct. You can't. You literally have to find ways to bring various groups together, and you have to meet to create, coalitions. Without that, you don't have a voting bloc. Without a voting bloc, you
Well,
don't
I
have.
think there's that, and then there's settling. I think there are things that should be absolute non-negotiable. Period.
No, I hear
Non-negotiable.
you. See, and this is the thing. Like in I've been watching him now for maybe a year and a half. I appreciate his perspective. I don't agree with him on everything. At times, I think that he reaches too far, trying to get groups together. But he has made that point numerous times. It's like, if we don't have any voting block or voting power, we're never going to accomplish anything. So we have to have some amount of like give and take. That's just part of the game of it, I guess. I don't know. He's not wrong, but at the same time, I agree with you. I don't necessarily want to be working with people like Elizabeth Warren either. But I should note that he has raised individually, just himself, hundreds of thousands of dollars in aid for Gaza, for the Palestinian people. I mean,
Yeah, and that's
he's a fighter.
amazing.
He's a fighter. So I
Yeah.
like I said, I appreciate him. I do. But I don't know. It's weird. He's been all over the media the last few weeks because it's funny. It's a bipartisan effort from both the right wing media and the liberal media to try to smear this dude. But it's funny. It only seems to be making him stronger, because that's usually how it goes when all of the media is in alignment to tell you one thing. It feels like these days that's like an endorsement.
Well, for real. I mean, you just made him more popular, you
They really
dumbass.
did. They really did. It's people have been talking about him for weeks now, and now this is going to obviously put him even larger on the map because Trump himself is going after him now. It's like
Yeah,
it's crazy,
exactly.
crazy stuff. Well, Joy, we've got an interview with the one and only Lee Camp. I have
Yeah,
it here.
so full transparency, I did the interview with him this afternoon, because our schedules are kind of like, but it is from today. It was this afternoon. We're on different time schedules and such, and he's a dad. So we had to do it earlier, but we are going to play it now in its entirety, and then Josh and I will be back afterwards to continue talking about this week's clusterfucks.
Indeed. Give me 2 seconds, Joy. I'm just trying to get it up and going here. It's being weird. Where is it? Doesn't seem to be one of my windows open. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, sorry. I hadn't done this type of video before, but I think we're set.
Hey guys, I am here with
Did you get it?
other than Lee Camp. No.
All right, there we go.
I
All right,
can
sorry
hear
for the
it.
delay there, folks. No, it should be up now. I shared it too. I just didn't hit the final
Oh.
button. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, I am here with none other than Lee Camp. Lee, thanks so much for coming back to join me.
World is kind of fixed. Yeah.
In here for it to be playing out loud. Josh. Adios, man. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. I think he's having tech issues. Leah, why couldn't you come on live? Josh.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I need you to stay here so that it can play because we can't hear anything.
Oh, when I close the thing, it shuts the audio.
Yes, correct.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Okay, I was
So
still
can you
playing on
like
my end.
start over?
Yeah. Sorry, I did not know.
Hey guys, I am here with none other than Lee Camp. Lee, thanks so much for coming back to join me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure. It's been a minute, but I'm so glad. Josh, you literally just cut it off again. So we are
No, I didn't.
2026 now.
I just muted myself and my camera. I didn't leave.
When you mute, it mutes.
Oh, I didn't realize it was an audio thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
so can we just like not so we can play it?
Sorry, I didn't know. Okay. Sorry, I've never done the video this way before, Joy. I didn't know.
Can't you just share it? With none other than Lee Camp. Share it, like share a screen, like you always share everything else.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's how I did it, but it's on a different window.
But I'm so glad to catch up. Okay. There's not too much going on, but I'm hoping we can find something to talk about. How about the genocides?
The world is kind of fixed. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
I know. So we are 2026 now. Something people are talking about, of course, is the 2028 election, if we have one. So, number one, do you think we're going to have one?
Will we have one, and will we still have a planet at that point? Yeah, I think we will. I think actually one of the bigger I'm sure Trump will attempt some things to stay in office. I think they're rather unlikely to work, maybe, if we still have some sort of system. But beyond just that, like, he's clearly slipping mentally and his health and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if the thing that actually keeps him from a third term is his health more than his desire to abide by the Constitution. Yeah, so.
That's fair. And, you know, it was interesting. The other day he had an interview and he said, hey, maybe when I'm not president anymore, I'll become prime minister of Israel.
Yes, he said that. He said he's hugely popular in Israel. And beyond that, and I don't know that this is that controversial, but his board of peace that he invented is clearly an attempt to subvert the UN, kind of replace the UN with something that he specifically and the U.S. in general control. And within the bylaws of it, it says that he is basically the king of that board of peace, and he cannot be removed unless everybody on the entire board votes unanimously to remove him, which it's filled with his sycophants and his family and Kushner and everyone else. So that would never happen. So basically, he's trying to create a new UN that supplants the old one, and he is president of the world via new UN. Like, I think that's his goal.
And then what do you think about the 25th? Do you think that's feasible, especially at this point, since he tried to get access to the red button?
I like the idea of him getting yanked out of office in any way seems highly unlikely, because he is surrounded by people that agree. And even most of the Democrats in Congress, the ones who are considered anti-Trump, even they agree with most of, the larger issues of what he's doing. Like, yeah, they might not like how violent ICE has become, but they agree with the general idea of destroying immigrant lives. Or they might not like that he's gone to war with Iran, some of them, but they agree with the general idea of the United States having the military that's larger than 150 countries combined, and can do whatever it wants and can bomb whenever it wants. And so they agree with most of it in general. And they agree that Iran is not a country that should be left to its own devices or have sovereignty, and that the U.S. should probably try and coup them. So, like, what my point is just, these people agree with him. And even in his first term, if you look at the first thing he was impeached for, it was not sending missiles to Ukraine. He failed to appropriately create feed into the proxy war in Ukraine, and like that's what he failed to do. And in this term, they haven't impeached him, or there hasn't even been much talk of honestly impeaching him by Congress. So it's like I don't think anyone's yanking him out of office. He's surrounded by people that agree with the absolute insanity and fascism that he stands for.
Absolutely. And we do hear a lot of now candidates are coming out and they're either doubling down and saying, yes, I am still taking AIPAC. Some are saying they're not taking AIPAC, even though their records show they are. And, then we have Thomas Massie, who, is absolutely hardcore when it comes to the terrorist state of Israel, Jeffrey Files, anti-Iran war, things like that, and he just got booted. Did you think he was going to lose or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it seemed pretty 50-50, but it did. I wrote about this on my Substack as well. It revealed a lot of the system and how our electoral politics, at least federally, work. And this is not to say I love Thomas Massie. I disagree with him violently on plenty of issues. So, I think people need to understand you can defend a certain aspect of what Massie's doing and it doesn't mean you agree with everything.
Yes.
But he was booted out by millions and millions of dollars. The most expensive primary election in U.S. history, and it was in Kentucky. And it was a guy who won his previous primaries by over 50%, meaning not even close. That was the most expensive primary in U.S. history. And why? Because they were the billionaires, and they were all pro-Israel billionaires. So, yeah, it's not like it was just AIPAC. AIPAC put a certain amount of money in. Other pro-Israel PACs did. But the real money came from, Miriam Adelson, who was born in Tel Aviv, and Paul Singer, who's another billionaire, and they support Israel. So that's where the biggest money came from. But they had to kick him out of office despite the fact that he is one of the best known congresspeople in the nation and the world, really. And the guy who ran against him, no one had ever heard of. And the guy apparently is incapable of speaking, like he's nonverbal, I guess. And they still had to get him out of there. So what did they have to do? They had to spend in a way that has never been spent in a U.S. primary in history. And they did that. And of course, it was just wall-to-wall TV ads, 32 million on ads alone. It was plenty of lies in there about his record, about what he stands for, all that shit. So absolute garbage. But the fact that he still lost despite leading by 50%, in previous primaries, etc., shows that this system is completely bought. The billionaires will always spend enough money to get rid of the Congress people that they find threatening. And they don't really find that many Congress people threatening. There's only a few in Congress that are at all threatening to the billionaire class. A tiny little handful. And the pro-Israel ones found Massie threatening. And so they got him out. And they've done this plenty of times before. They did it with Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman and Alan Grayson and Dennis Kucinich and Cynthia McKinney. Most of them are Democrats, but they've done it plenty of times. And it just shows that if they care enough, they will get rid of that congressperson. And with most of them, they don't care. I mean, with most of them, they don't care enough because they funded their initial elections, which means it's a self-censorship form of election to begin with. So most Congress people that get in there are not threatening to the ruling class at all. So yeah, it just shows that like they own this system and they own it at near 100%. Yeah. I mean, you can also look at the fact that 100% of Congress is pro-capitalism. You cannot get into Congress and be at all antithetical to capitalism.
Yeah. Absolutely. You probably know, but I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm formerly from Philly. Chris Rabb is someone I've met many, many times, had on the show. He actually comes to our protests a lot. He drops a lot of F-bombs, which I love. But yeah, he actually took down his APAC competition, and it was amazing because we actually saw, someone who is hardcore anti-APAC and such prevail. And his first words when he won was, "Fuck APAC." And I'm like, yes, like more of this, please.
I love that. I love that. But I would, it'll be interesting to see if he is threatening enough. If he gains superstar status like Massey gained.
And it does give me trepidation because I've known him for years, but I don't trust any politicians. Like, we know we can't, it's like that saying, like, believing a politician's your friend is like thinking the stripper really wants to date you. Like, you can't believe in them. It will be bad. Are there any?
I find that very offensive to strippers. I think they are far better.
That's fair.
Far better.
I'm positive sex worker all the way. Are there any other candidates or people in Congress or Senate that you think may have some promise, that you don't cringe when you see them all the time?
I mean, there might be a couple that are good on a lot of things, Ilhan Omar and the such, but I don't really pay almost any attention to Congress. I'll see a viral clip every once in a while, and I'll pay attention to maybe that. But I believe that our Congress and our federal government, it's less so at the state level and even less than that at the local level, but is so extremely captured. And it's captured in like so many different ways. So we've already gone through how they rig the elections via money. But outside of that, it's captured in the sense that Congress almost does nothing. Congress's job nowadays is basically to just approve the budget. And they fight over that in 12 different ways. But all of the things that they want to get in there, all the anti-trans shit and other stuff that, anti-food stamps, like all the stuff they want to get, they just cram it into the budget bill because they know that if it's standalone vote, then they would lose, or there'd be a big battle, or there'd be a big debate, or it would look bad to be voting against people getting food stamps. So they just cram it all into the budget. And that is essentially all Congress does. With everything else, it's all just a bunch of theater. And, we see this. To me, it's the most clear when Democrats are in office, the ones that supposedly, if you believe their platform, want to help the working people and want to help union workers and want to help those who need medical care. And yet, for some odd reason, they can never get anything through. And it's always, even when they have both houses of Congress, everything, and there's always some crazy excuse. That my favorite was when they brought up the parliamentarian wouldn't let it. I had never heard of a parliamentarian in my life, and somehow Biden just couldn't get past that parliamentarian. Meanwhile, Donald Trump does things without even congressional approval. He just does them.
Yeah.
So it's to me, it's just theater, theater of the absurd, and it's not that I, don't think that occasionally there's not something that very rarely, once a year, some congressperson does something slightly beneficial, like Massey with the Epstein files. It is almost 100% true that the Epstein files bill would not have gone through if it hadn't been for Massey, both his vote and his push and his public speaking about it. So, yes, sometimes, very rarely, something positive can come out of Congress, but to me, for those of us who are not in positions of power in that way, either with great money or political position, to me, it's like you could spend 5 or 10% max of your time talking about electoralism. This world and the change we need is just not going to happen via such a captured system.
I feel like the more I look at social media, though, I do think that there's more voter apathy than ever before. Are you getting that sense too?
Yeah, is it apathy? Is it people understand? It might not quite be apathy. It might be people understanding that the system is captured, understanding both Republicans and Democrats essentially stand for the same thing on 80 to 90% of the core issues of our country. And so I think a lot more people are like, I'm not voting for those two sacks of garbage, but I might, endorse another party, or I might get active in other ways in my community, which is, luckily, if they're doing that, that's not apathy.
Yeah, that's fair. I do, what we see all the time, though, is then a Democrat gets in office and all of a sudden, what genocide, what war, what ICE, and all the problems just go away. Given how fucked things are right now, is that something you think about? Like, oh my God, in 2 years, like all of this could be completely obsolete to all of these people who only care about voting.
Yeah, I've been through enough cycles here, and talking about them so much on my shows that I've realized you have a double-edged sword. Whenever Trump or any Republican, George Bush, etc., are in office, then everybody who doesn't support those people think that all that matters is getting them out of office. If we just get Trump out of office, if we can just stop Trump, it's all Trump's fault. And he certainly has ramped up some things, but Obama deported more people than ever before, and Trump's doing his best to beat that record. Don't get me wrong, but people don't like to think of Obama as the biggest deporter of immigrants. But so they just focus 100% on Trump or Bush or whoever. And you go, and those of us who care about creating change go, well, God, let's get a Democrat in office so we can stop talking about Trump and people can realize we need to get active on these issues. And it's not just about a Republican in office. And then the Democrat gets in office and everybody just goes to sleep on 80% of these issues, or a lot of people do. So you have a double-edged sword there. It's, one administration and it's just all focused on that head of the snake kind of situation. And then you have another administration and everybody's like, oh, well, we got a Democrat in office. It's fine. And it's infuriating. I also think it's how the theater works. Like, that's why the theater exists. That's why we have two parties that, as George Galloway said, are two cheeks of the same backside. If you have everybody arguing about which cheek they like best, then you're never actually changing the person. You're never actually changing the system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting that the most outspoken people when it comes to the Jeffrey files and Iran and the terrorist state of Israel, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owens, and now fucking Alex Jones. What the fuck is going on? Seriously, what the fuck? These people are going more hard than any Democrat combined. What is that like? Do you ever give them props on like those issues and just like feel dirty, or are you just like, hey, I'll take it where I can get it, like as long as they're cool with that topic? Like,
on like my live stream and stuff, I'll play those clips of Tucker Carlson going after Mike Huckabee on Israel or things like that. I also make the point over and over again that don't for a second think Tucker Carlson is like a good guy or that he cares about things you care about. Most of these far right wingers are coming at it from the standpoint of some sort of like, America needs to be isolationist and protect ourselves and despise everyone else. As Tucker Carlson said, although he's opposed to the Iran war, as he said, quote, if bombing Iran makes us richer or more powerful, then I'm for it. But I don't see how it does that. So he basically is admitting that as long as it makes us richer, then go ahead and murder innocent people. I don't care. I just don't think it's doing that. Anyway, point being that, yes, I do play those clips. But I also make fun of the fact that it's like, how did you not know what Trump was? How after 4 years, after 40 years of seeing how much of a con man he is, after his previous 4 years of war and death and corruption, I just yesterday on my live stream, I played Megyn Kelly in some interview going, I just didn't know it'd be this much corruption. Really? You're just waking up. And this goes for even the people that were MAGA that are not considered far right, but like Joe Rogan and Dave Smith and all these idiots who were like, oh, Trump's going to be like, I vote for Trump because I think he's really going to change this. It's like, how did you not see this coming? How dumb and naive do you have to be? I don't know.
Do you think it's because people want to believe, or do you think that it's willful ignorance, or is it some kind of like psyche, like a mental disorder in a way?
I think
not to shame anyone, no ableism here, but why do you think
I studied psychology in college, and I think for a lot of people it is they're scared about our reality, rightfully so. And they can't get away from the idea that a daddy should come fix it. And sure, it could be a mommy too, but most of the time it's a daddy. And that a daddy is going to come fix it, and he's going to tell us how to behave. And so when Donald Trump gets up there, and Donald Trump's never wrong, mind you, he's never once admitted he got something wrong. He's bold, brash. He never says, I'm sorry. He never walks into a room thinking anyone should speak except for him. And I think a lot of these people fall for well, that's a very confident daddy there. He can fix things. And so it's amazing how they'll just buy into a con man, just hook, line, and sinker. And it's funny because the same dynamic works with why does Alex Jones have so many fans? Well, because he gives off the same con man vibe. I'm a big tough dude who's going to fix it all and tell you the truth, even though I'm lying to you every millisecond. But yeah, there's a real sense of just people thinking that daddy's going to come fix it. And it's like, no, that dude is a con man. And if essentially all billionaires are psychopaths. And because there's a very tiny group of billionaires, a handful, like you could probably name them in a couple of seconds, that stumbled into $1 billion because they came up with an invention or a ice cream flavor like Ben and Jerry that did really well. But guess what? People who are not psychopaths and become billionaires, guess what they do? They stop trying to murder people and take over the world because they have $1 billion. They never want for money again. Ben has devoted himself to trying to end war and end genocide and stuff. So, but generally speaking, people who become billionaires, they did that by exploiting, stepping on people's necks, never caring about their victims. And so they keep doing that once they become a billionaire. Elon Musk is not like, wow, I got a lot of money, I can stop now. No, they're a psychopath. They're trying to fill the void inside their soul by crushing everyone else and getting as rich as possible. And, so Trump and Elon Musk are the same. They're the same ilk.
Mm-hmm. And I digress a bit, but did you see Elon Musk's $100,000 Cybertrucks were recalled?
I know that they're not selling at all, but no, I didn't see the recall.
Yeah, the wheels are falling off.
Literally and figuratively. The wheels
are falling off. Yeah, wheels are falling off.
If people want to do the deep dive, people should watch some of these videos or read some of these articles about how insane the Cybertruck is, because it's a catastrophe, but it's not selling at all. The numbers, like the tiny number of Cybertrucks that are selling, a large percentage of that, like 18% or something, is Elon Musk selling them to himself. He's been selling them. It just came out recently. He's been selling them at full price, like thousands, to SpaceX. So he's buying them from himself at full price, no discount. It's crazy. But then on top of that, the SpaceX IPO, which is the largest initial stock offering ever in human history. This company, which also includes Twitter X and XAI, they're all wrapped up in one bundle. And it is the largest stock offering ever. And it is based on a combination of military contracts and like the insanity of they're going to soon have interstellar flight and they're going to have a community on Mars. and it is just the biggest garbage Ponzi scheme when you really like look into the numbers, and yet, and I forgot the best part, which is your viewers and most Americans are going to own stock in SpaceX whether they want to or not, because NASDAQ has fast-tracked SpaceX to be part of basically most mutual funds, which means that retirees will suddenly and instantly own SpaceX stock, having never thought they should, would, or could. Like, they're not caring about it at all, not looking into any of those numbers. They're just going to, suddenly your money is supporting SpaceX.
Oh my God, that's friggin' bananas. What about the self-driving Ubers and shit? Does that not scare you?
I mean, they could get good. The truth is, self-driving cars could get good enough that they're better than humans. Like that, we're getting very close to that. What scares me is the control they have. Once we switch over to all self-driving cars, it also means that anybody can stop you from driving anywhere at any time. You'll have no more freedom in that regard. And the truth is that if we want to continue as a species, we should really move to awesome, excellent, and wonderful mass transit. Doesn't mean you couldn't have some sort of electric vehicle for those places that mass transit won't go. But mass transit, if we want to get away from fossil fuels, you have awesome electric mass transit. And a lot of countries are like this. A lot of countries, they don't really own cars, or they don't own many. And yet the U.S. has just killed all mass transit, or made it so slow and awful and costly that people don't do it. And so we are, marching off an ecological cliff because we're like, I like when the engine goes vroom, vroom, vroom. It's just so awful.
Yeah, even as a blind person who can't drive, literally the thought of self-driving cars scares the living shit out of me, because I did see a video of how someone hacked in to a car that was driving, and the car was supposed to be turning right, and it just shot off completely and stuff. Yeah. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, and actually, no. So in terms of self-driving car, I don't think they should be on the road yet, because I don't think they're good enough yet. So I agree with you on that. I think we certainly could get to the point where they're good enough. But Elon Musk and Tesla, back to him, have really worked hard to cover up or minimize the number of deaths from Tesla's self-driving feature, which I don't know the number, but I know it's killed a lot of people. And most of the time, Tesla just says they didn't have their hands on the wheel, or they weren't paying attention. So basically, they've created a system where it's a feedback loop. Let's say you have the self-driving feature in your car, and you at first think, I don't know if I trust this thing. But you go through 1,000 hours in that car, and it never gets anything wrong. Guess what? You're going to start zoning out. You're going to start checking your phone. And that's when it plows through a truck and, decapitates you. And then Tesla goes, he wasn't paying attention. Oh, therefore we have no responsibility. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, that's scary. I digress a bit, but with all the shit out there, the utter trash so-called news, where do you get your sources? What are some publications or websites where you actually trust what you are researching is valid?
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, Eleanor Goldfield and I did create a free website called radindiemedia.com, RADINDIE media.com. It costs nothing, and it's just an aggregator. There's no ads. You just go there and you click on, and we try and keep it to just sites that we support and endorse and think do really good work, and people that do that. So, that is one place that people can regularly check to get important news. But yeah, I guess, there are definitely some sites, Mint Press, Consortium News, Common Dreams is usually pretty good, although sometimes they get a little more electoral than I like. But then I really just, I think I rely on certain people I know do good work and really seem genuine, like Caitlin Johnstone and people like that. So Yeah, Gray Zone's another one. So you start to know who's doing the work that is not allowed in mainstream media, and I'd say that's what I go to. And it is interesting once you kind of get your base knowledge from those places. You then can read something like the New York Times and know exactly how the propaganda works and exactly what the kernel of truth is that they're then massaging or manipulating. For example, I can read in the New York Times, Trump, unnamed White House official says Trump's going to bomb Iran. And I go, well, that might mean he's going to bomb Iran. It also could mean that the White House wants to put out the idea that he's going to bomb Iran because he wants to get a little more leverage in the deal he's trying to make. So he's going to put out this rumor he's bombing Iran. And you start to understand that type of manipulation and the euphemisms and the propaganda. And it is striking the level of garbage that like the New York Times will and mainstream media will put out. But yeah, you kind of get, as you learn to follow those other news sources, as you know, you kind of get better and better at seeing through the propaganda of the main sources. So then you can read them and kind of learn something or learn how they're trying to manipulate you and why they want to manipulate you in a certain way,
And what about AI? Have you been duped, like with videos and stuff? Like, admit it if you have.
You just admit it.
Admittedly.
The only thing I can think of that I don't think it was AI related, but it was a fake. I did do a segment where I thought I was reading out Luigi Mangioni's manifesto because I had seen it at so many different places that I assumed it must be the real one. And then the next day I saw that maybe it was Ken Klippenstein or someone posted the actual one. And I, had to admit that the day before I'd read the fake one thinking this many people can't be wrong. I've seen it from 15 different people that I, respect. I assume it's correct. But I have just become very quickly very skeptical of any video or audio I see or hear. And therefore, unless I see, especially if it's a celebrity or a politician, someone well-known, unless I see an article about how it's real, I don't generally believe it's real.
It's like ask someone who's 85% blind. I'm like, ooh, and I send it to my friend. He says, no. Okay, well, this one looks fake. No, that's real. Damn it. I can't.
Yeah, no, you can't go. I know being blind is a little different, but you can't go off look anymore. I just
no way.
I don't really go off look. I assume it's fake unless proven otherwise.
Right. And supposedly, we had that thing where BB was like, that was AI. I mean, even as a blind person, that was AI. All those coffee house appearances and shit. Well, apparently he's back in the hospital today per his people because he's having a dental issue. So there's that.
Who's that, Trump or Daniel?
No, BB. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been sent some things by people that I highly respect, and so I didn't put them on my live stream yet, but I think I shared them with I emailed them to some friends, and then it turned out that it was fake news, and because I was surprised to see it coming from people I respect.
Right,
so
right.
I get that. That's probably when I get duped, is when other people I respect have been duped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have gotten far more skeptical on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Lee. We could talk for hours about this clusterfuck that we live in. But thank you so much. And please let the people know, again, the website, where they can find you. I'm sure most people know, but just let them know.
Thanks. Yeah, I should tell people what happened recently is I started a new version of Redacted Tonight called Unredacted Tonight. It lasted about a year, and then I had to stop it because of suppression. It's been suppressed by YouTube into oblivion, and I can't afford to keep making it. So I recently had to stop that. However, I do my live streams 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's youtube.com/momentofclarity. I also have been posting a lot of columns at my Substack, which is also free. That's reallycamp.substack.com. reallycamp.substack. And the most recent Substack articles, one was on Massey and the Israel owning our elections. Another was on the history of Cuba and why the U.S. government wants to destroy Cuba. It goes back before the 1959 revolution into a previous revolution in 1898 when the U.S. helped Cuba for a couple of days defeat Spain, Imperial Spain. And then immediately the U.S. then went to persecute and take over Cuba. So Cuba has been fighting U.S. imperialism for 125 years or more. Anyway, all that's at my Substack, Really Camp.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. And for what it's worth, you are one of the journalists that I go to to learn and to. You're one of the ones, the handful I trust.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping we get to meet up soon. It's been a while since we've met, at events and stuff. So
yeah,
I hope you are well. I hope the family is well. And again, thank you so much for joining. It's always great to talk to you.
Thanks. And I know you're not going to be able to make it to New York City, but I have a live show in New York City June 5th. So people can get info at leecamp.com/schedule.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, if you're not following Lee, please do, because he is great. And I'm so glad to have him back. So thanks so much again, Lee. Take care.
Thanks.
Well, that was a heartbreak finding out that Unredacted's over. I didn't know that. I watched that. Mm-hmm. I was wondering. I hadn't seen an episode yet.
Yeah. Dang. It's bananas. They love to, they ride Lee a lot. I mean, I've definitely been, stifled and shit. X has been, man, have they been getting me these past few months. I have like 26,000 followers. And when you post something, you can see there's like a number of how many people see your post, and it'll literally be like 5.
Yeah.
Like I'll post something and it gets like 1 like, and it'll be like 5 people saw it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then people are always like, I haven't seen your post. I'm like, yeah.
I can't stand X anymore, man. That place really, really, really went south. And it's a shame because there was a time when it was like the world's fastest news aggregator. Like that's what I used it for. You could find out what was happening in the world, wherever it was in the world, the second it was happening, faster than any other platform. And that's dying. That's almost gone from Twitter now.
Honestly, the people on Facebook, they piss me off way more than the people on X.
Well, I don't like the people. I hear what you're saying. It's like it's social media is toxic no matter where you go. That's true. But I don't know, man. Like Twitter is a weird kind of special toxic because, like, you can agree or not agree about like what do you call it? Just your freedom of speech and like, oh, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. But there should be some forms of moderation. Things like hate speech. Like if literally dudes like, I think group X should be eliminated. Yeah, there's a reason why you as a private company don't want that kind of speech affecting your other users on your platform because they might leave. Mm-hmm. So I'm totally with companies being like, yeah, we're not cool with hate speech. Duh. So Twitter shows up and they're like, oh yeah, we're all about free speech. By the way, I got banned for leftist content, which apparently is not included in free speech. But
neither is being pro-Palestine.
That too, yeah. But it's like, but if you're a Nazi on Twitter, it is your golden age right now. Like that's the craziest part. The accounts that literally made like open public threats to entire civilizations and groups of people that got kicked out for doing so were welcomed back with open arms. Like it's gross.
What's really bananas is the way that they're showing up at people's houses and saying, did you post this? Shit like that. And it'll be stuff like pro-Palestine posts. It won't even say like eliminate this or, unalive this or literally nothing. And they're just sending like that's what we use resources for. That, like, forget all of the, PEDOs and shit. Like, no, they have shit to do, and by shit to do, I mean going door to door for people who post guillotine memes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Uh-oh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's me. I post guillotine memes.
I do too, and usually they have a pink bow and cute eyes, like, with eyelashes, and they're really cute and stuff. Am I going to get in trouble for that? Probably.
My go-to GIF that I post most of all is from the Muppet Show, and it's all of the pigs dressed up like they're the French aristocracy. And then as they're dancing and they start clearing the floor, there's an enormous guillotine, and they all see it and start freaking out. That's my favorite. I would hate to get a visit from the G-men because I posted my favorite Muppet Show moment.
I mean, that would be kind of an epic article, though, to be honest. It kind of would. But we have lots more to get to, guys. I see way more people watching than are in the comments. So you guys get in the comments, say hi, share your thoughts. All right, Indeed. What do we have next?
All right. I wanted to just jump into, I'm calling this segment the general decline of American democracy is what I'm calling this. So I've got a few different.
Decline what's already non-existent.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, like, it's the worst it's ever been. And I've got just too many examples to really go deep dive focus on any one of them. So I'm just kind of touch on each of them. So let's start it up here. I got to share it with you here. 1 second. All right. So we'll start out. We're going to be talking about this $1.776 billion slush fund. And I wanted to start out with this video. I thought it made sense.
As the week begins, there are now 3 federal suits challenging this $1.7 billion Trump slush fund. 3 federal suits for now. There could be more because this thing is so unpopular. It's the political version of a sulfur mine. It just stinks, and you can't deny that this thing stinks. Among the federal lawsuits here in Washington, D.C., there's a suit filed by a group called Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, a watchdog group that's been around here a while. They have had success in federal courts against the Trump administration. They're arguing that this thing is a jaw-dropping piece of corruption, self-dealing, and that the court should intervene. There's also another suit from the former Capitol Police officer Harry Dunn and the D.C. police officer Danny Hodges, who works just down the road with the D.C. Police Department. They're arguing that if the January 6 rioters are paid off out of this slush fund, the government, taxpayers, would be subsidizing some people, who menace and threaten them to this day, that they would be adversely impacted. And down the street in Alexandria, Virginia, the federal court in the Eastern District of Virginia, a group has filed a civil suit there, including a former January 6 prosecutor. They're making the argument there that this is political favoritism to one-party supporters, one-person supporters over the others. We're waiting for court dates, for hearing dates. There are deadlines coming up in these legal cases. They may take precedence over the efforts to pass legislation to outlaw the fund, but it clearly shows people are so outraged by this sulfur mine of a piece of legislation, they are ready, willing, and now able to fight over it.
So I gotta say that this actually came out the day that we went live last week, and I hadn't had a chance to really dig into it yet. And after really looking into it this week, it's a nightmare. Like there's been so much open, obvious corruption that has happened thus far in the Trump presidency. I mean, it's just like it was status quo before Trump came along, but he turned it into an art form, you know. And not just a regular kind of art form, that special kind of like MoMA level art where it's like, it fills 3 rooms of corruption. Look how huge this is. It's impressive. It's a fart form. Yes. Part of the deal. But no, seriously, like it is wild how much corruption he's done. And yet this shit takes the cake, because what he did is he sued the IRS saying, oh, the IRS let my tax records get out. But again, they weren't. They were leaked by one person who had access to them. That's not the IRS's fault ultimately, but that's his claim. So he sues his own IRS, and his own DOJ makes that lawsuit. And then he has his DOJ work with his lawyers to cut a deal with himself because, again, he controls both parties. And he says, okay, I won't do the $10 billion lawsuit because my tax records got leaked if you give me $1.776 billion and tax immunity for me, for my children, for my businesses, and for my subsidiaries in the past, present, and forever. And guess what? I know this is shocking, but Trump's DOJ and the legal system and the lawyers, they all came to this agreement. They were like, okay, we can agree with this. And so Trump's deal that he made with himself, he shook his own hand and art of the deal. And the most alarming part, and this is why I wanted to bring this up with this slush fund, this is supposedly the red meat to pay off the base that did the violent riot on January 6th. Literally, like, we saw the videos of it, especially the day of. I mean, like, we can all like argue, well, was it weaponized this way, that way, who spun it best? But the day of, we all watched because the videos were live streamed from these right wingers themselves as they were ransacking the Capitol. So we watched with, like, you know, held breath, like, what the fuck is happening? Those people are looking at $1, maybe $2 million payoffs. And what this means is, when Trump,
but for what? Like, payout for what?
Oh, because they were they were targeted by Joe Biden's lawfare. You see, Joe Biden had them arrested and put in jail because they're on camera beating police officers' eyeballs out with American flagpoles. They're on camera doing this, and so they went to jail for it. Trump said, no, you get a full pardon, and now he's saying you get a cool $1 million. And the craziest part of this whole thing is the board that makes the decision on who gets the money are 5 people all handpicked by Trump that he can fire at will. So ultimately, this is his slush fund to go to whomever he wants, no accountability. He doesn't have to say where the money goes. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on about how fucking insanely illegal this whole thing is, but it doesn't matter because everything they're doing now is illegal. Every day it's this. Every day it's something.
Very interesting, though, a bit of a digression, but you know the guy that on 1/6 he was dressed like Braveheart or some shit?
Oh, the guy with the horns. I know. I feel for him.
He's anti-MAGA now.
I know. Yeah.
That's hardcore.
The QAnon shaman is what they called him. That's right. The QAnon shaman. Oh, my God. Yeah, I had a great meme I was passing around that said, hey, if the QAnon shaman was able to figure it out and he got off the MAGA train, that means you're stupider than the QAnon shaman.
But if he's going to get a payout, he might become a fan again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But no, here's the most dangerous part, and this is what I was getting to. Trump's going to lose. The Republicans are going to lose. They fucked this up. They screwed the pooch. They've done this so poorly that this is going to, I mean, there's going to be a absolute bloodletting, and that's just is what it is. Like, it's politically bloodletting. A lot of dudes are going to lose their jobs over how badly they've manhandled our entire system. But Trump is setting it up where
they're going to lose the White House or in 2026 or
both. They're going to lose both, but ultimately, here's my point. Trump is trying to show the next time he calls his supporters to do yet another insurrection on the Capitol that, check it out, guys, I pay my bills. I paid millions to the last group that did it. How much will you get? That's what this is. He's literally signaling to his base, come to DC. It will be wild. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Like, he knows what he's doing. This is not, like, none of this is an accident.
I mean, the one thing I will say about Republicans is that they sure have solidarity with each other. Democrats don't have solidarity with leftists at all. They never have. And at least Republicans have solidarity with other Republicans. And I mean, even though it's for shit reasons, it's still kind of impressive that they all, is granted it's kind of a hive mind, but it's still, you know, they say let's be here this time and people are, whereas we don't have that at all.
But Joy, how do they achieve it? They achieve it through fear. I present evidence number one. Check out my evidence right here. Trump tries to plug leaks with NDA plan for all federal government workers. In the business world, Donald Trump has long been known for his use of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, and he favors them in the federal government as well. According to the Washington Post, the Trump administration is planning a government-wide non-disclosure agreement that would bar all federal workers from sharing a wide array of confidential government information. So, yeah, you could say that, hey, they've got this solidarity. I'm saying that they're fucking terrified, Joy. And this is the shit I'm talking about.
I think federal workers already have NDAs.
Well, the NDAs in a sense that, like, you know, unless you're like going and you're whistleblowing and you're within your like legal rights, but they're trying to go far beyond that. This is, again, chilling speech. That's the whole point of this. They're trying to make it so that no one ever leaks again. They're going to make it a crime for you to be like, hey, they were talking about this at the meeting. They'll still leak. I promise you that, because they leak all the time. Their leaks are to, you know, forward their narrative. But if you leak, we'll put you in a goddamn cage. And that's fucked. Like, that's what they're trying to create, that environment of terror, you know?
Yeah.
They're good at it. They're really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of, as I'm talking about the degradation of our democracy, did you see what's happening in DC? Take a look at this photo, Joy. Did you see this? Now, I know you're thinking, are they building a Six Flags over the White House?
What is that?
That's the UFC arena that they're building in front of the White House for the UFC match at the White House. That's real, Joy. This is real. This is our reality. This is reality now.
I can't.
We live in idiocracy now. President Camacho will oversee the first man-on-man full-blood sport on the White House lawn. And this is exciting. You know?
Okay, but what if everybody just comes together and picks him up and throws him in the ring?
Ooh. Like
Plot
a reverse
twist.
Royal Rumble. I like this. Yeah. Donald Trump gets in there. He's like, I am so strong. Nobody's tougher than me. I'll take all oncomers. And it'll be like a line 18,000 people long.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if people will just like, it'll be like a fight club out there. People would be like, really? You're endorsing violence by having this, so let's fucking go.
I mean, can I tell you, I played a lot of video games as a kid, and one of my favorite games was Street Fighter. And what I loved about Street Fighter is you had all these weird levels that you'd be fighting in front of, and there's all these people in the background who look like shocked that there's a fight happening. And this feels like some sort of like ultimate unlockable level of Street Fighter. It's like, White House, Street Fighter, round one, go! You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. Why is this happening? Who are these people, and why are they doing this?
The only fights I've ever seen are Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you remember those?
The claymation?
Yeah.
Yes. I love
They were
claymation.
so good. So maybe we could see, there probably was one with Trump. I'm sure. Dude, we could totally, oh man, that would be epic.
There may not have been, because he was like known, but not like at the time of the Celebrity Deathmatch. That was kind of pre-Apprentice, I think. It might have been.
Oh, that's true.
Which is a shame, because I'd love to see it. My favorite was that they actually got that awesome, famous referee to do the voice of the.
I know.
And so
That
he just
was
had that
bananas.
realism. He was great. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So I had to show you. Yeah, it looks like they're building a Six Flags over the White House. Yes, it's insane.
This is a one-time match, right?
Yes.
So it's good that they're going. It's like when you go to a carnival and they build that shit for one day, you know it's not going to be sturdy. So I mean, we can hope.
Fingers crossed. Can I tell
Yeah.
you? Did you ever see that movie? Event
Class
Horizon?
Action Park.
No, Class Action Park. Ha 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 ha.
You never
did
saw
you ever-
that?
No, is that a thing?
Oh
it's like a
my
fake dress
God.
park.
Okay, if you guys have to see that. It's a documentary of Action Park in New Jersey. They several people died there, and I'm not even going to get into like the shit that happened because it was just so fucked up. Just so fucked up. Like the one I said I won't get into it, but they had a water slide that did a loop-de-loop like a freaking roller coaster, right? It was a water slide that did that. And they would pay these kids to try it out before they would open it to public. And they paid. And there were like bones and teeth and stuff sticking in the grooves of these water slides and shit. Like, I cannot tell you, this is a fucked up documentary. So that's what I thought you were talking about when it came to rides and shit.
No, well, that's wild stuff. I'm looking into that now. No, I was gonna say there was this horror sci-fi movie back in the day called Event Horizon, where they create this like gateway thing to like a black hole to another realm, and that's what this reminds me of because it was a black hole that leads you into hell. So I'm thinking that this might actually open up a gateway. And the White House may be the first people to get sucked in, or this is the launching point of hell's armies, and they'll start here, and then they'll work their way to us.
Or Armageddon will start, and all of a sudden, Beelzebub himself will come up through the match, and, you know, everything will be cool.
Your spilled blood hast awakened me. Armageddon out of here.
Carmageddon, bitches.
Oh my God. All right. So I've got more of the crumbling of our beautiful democracy. North Carolina Republicans propose letting anyone use deadly force against women who have abortions under new bill. And I'm going to read you 3 paragraphs that are going to destroy your mind because you won't be able to process how stupid this is.
What's the publication?
This is International Business Times. So it's a notable publication. A North Carolina bill proposes amending the state constitution to classify abortion as first-degree murder and to give any person the right to use deadly force to stop it. House Bill 1232, introduced 13th of May 2026 by Republican Representatives Keith Kidwell and Ben T. Moss Jr., would amend Article 1 of the North Carolina Constitution to declare that a distinct and separate human life begins at the moment of fertilization. The bill grants every person the right to use deadly force to defend the life of another person from willful destruction, a provision that, combined with the bill's murder classification for abortion, would legally permit a third party to kill a woman seeking an abortion in the name of self-defense.
Wow.
Now, how could that be self-defense if it would also unalive the baby? That doesn't make any sense. How that's self-defense.
And where did you say this was?
Tennessee. I'm sorry, no, North Carolina. Sorry, that's habit because normally it's Tennessee doing dumb shit. No, this is North Carolina.
This will set a precedent if this passes.
Yeah, it's terrifying stuff. It's like, why would you need to unalive a woman to protect her unborn child? That doesn't make sense.
No fucking sense. You don't want the baby to die, so you're going to kill the mother and the baby.
But that's the thing.
Right.
This isn't about pro-life. That's the thing. This shit is anti-life.
Pro-birth.
It's not even pro-birth. It's anti-life in and of itself because it's trying to justify that it's okay to ice them both.
Yeah, it's, oh my God.
I know. It's anti-life. It's crazy. It's pretty goddamn crazy. So, yeah. And then to top off my little segment on the collapse of our democracy, I just had to show you this one. Breaking news. Mike Lindell, founder of My Pillow and former crackhead, leads in the Republican primary for Minnesota governor.
Wait, okay.
Pillow guy.
From Minnesota?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, or is Ilhan Omar not Minnesota?
I feel like she is. She's Minneapolis. But yeah, it's Walls, but like ultimately this is for the Republican primary. But that's the thing. He's leading now. He's the leading candidate for the Republican Party for governorship for the primary race. Like the pillow guy, the crackhead guy.
Well,
Like,
I mean, in fairness, they elected someone from reality TV, and that's been going amazing. So why not? I mean,
some people are saying the greatest presidency of all time.
Yeah. True. Wow. He's
So,
like
yeah,
the new Rush Limbaugh or something.
I just can't believe the pillow guy is like, I was sure when the pillow guy tied his boat to Trump, I was like, well, if you want to go down with the Titanic, that's your biz. But no, he succeeded. Pillow guy succeeds against all odds. I hate you, pillow guy. I hate you.
But did you ever try one of those My Pillows? Man,
yeah, they're lumpy
No,
as shit. They're lumpy as shit. They're literally just big lump pillows. They're dumb.
Are they really?
Yeah,
I've
well,
never seen
basically,
one.
here's what it is. His pillows are basically recycled memory foam pillows because they're just thrown into like a wood chipper and turned into little squishy, little torn up little pieces. So it's just a pillow full of little tiny torn up bits of memory foam. So it's like the lumpiest pillow you've ever experienced.
Oh my God. It sounds like a blast.
But that's what I don't understand. It gets like it wasn't even a good pillow. How is this dude succeeding this wildly?
And it's his pillow. I want my own pillow. What the fuck? I don't want your pillow.
I'm tired of all these pillows I find laying in the gutter. I need my pillow.
My pillow. Shoot.
Jesus Christ. All right. Let us continue. We've got a big, long topic for you here. So let's jump in, shall we? Maybe. Hold on. One of the things you sent me is not pulling up correctly. So we'll jump in a little late in your thing while I find the first video. Is there audio?
They're supposed to be, but it's not playing.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I got to jump out and back in. Feel free to chat it up while I do.
Trigger warning. This is my governor. He's the one that Kamala wanted to run as her VP. And people like myself who know the fucker were freaking out because he's a Zio pig. Here comes Josh. Let me pull him back in here.
All right, I'm back. Sorry for the delay, y'all. Audio issues. Here we go.
Lines in your party. We saw it play out in this primary here in Philadelphia, in which AIPAC, which historically was a bipartisan group that supported pro-Israel candidates, came in and helped the candidate who wound up coming in third place, I think, and lost. Has AIPAC now become, in a Democratic primary at least, an anchor around some of these candidates, something to be avoided?
Yeah, I don't know. And look, it's never been an issue in any of my races at the state level, but I do think it has cynically been used by some. I'm going to make this a broad statement, not about the race here in Philly. But I think it's been used cynically by some to try and silence certain voices, to try and say that certain people participating in politics shouldn't count or should be viewed in a toxic way. Now, do I agree with every political decision they've made, every endorsement they made? Of course not.
Have they hurt themselves, do you think, AIPAC?
But I think what we have seen is a weaponization of that. And I think that is a danger for our system. When you have people who are advocating for issues that they feel strongly about, and they are having their voices silenced, I think that's a problem in our system.
There's a blurring between being against AIPAC and being against Jewish folks giving money, you're saying?
I think it does get blurred because now what you are seeing is not, quote unquote, AIPAC money or however it was termed, but you're getting the Jews who give to that candidate who also support AIPAC. I think it's very dangerous in our system. If you are trying to silence certain voices based on their race, based on their faith, based on their particular ideology.
Would you want their money? And they being, to be clear, AIPAC donors.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm running for governor and they don't play in state races. I'm not trying to be cute about that, but it's just not an issue here in my race for governor.
But this could be a factor down the road if other opportunities do present themselves, right?
Well, I'm not looking down the road. I'm looking at how we can win a re-election for governor, how I can help deliver 4 U.S. House seats, and how I can finally flip our state Senate, which has been in Republican control since 1992. That's what I'm focused on.
I don't
Blah.
Fuck you, trash. I'm so glad I didn't vote for him, and I won't vote for his ass again. Dude,
Yeah, he's gross.
there is, stop fucking conflating this shit with anti-Semitism. First of all, I have never, ever heard a single person say it is Jew money. I have never fucking heard that in my life, ever. And that I'm not even just talking about people I know. It's always AIPAC, Zionist, terrorist state of Israel. All those things are correct. I've never heard someone say it's Jewish money. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's important to note that when you're talking about Zionism, it's easy because Israel tried to conflate Zionism with Judaism. But a majority of the Zionists on earth aren't Jewish.
Nope.
They're evangelical Christians. So in the end, like, AIPAC does not mean Jewish money. It means people who support this Zionist colonial project, and that is a majority non-Jewish people. So I always think it's weird when people try to conflate the two. And again, Israel did its part in that because they were trying to funnel everyone into Israel because they're terrified to be anywhere else. That's a scary proposition.
And just so you guys know, this motherfucker, he is so anti-BDS that a year and a half ago or so, when all the college kids were protesting to defund, he literally passed legislation for the state of Pennsylvania that if any college kids protest with BDS intentions to get the schools to cancel, taking money from the terrorist state of Israel, that he would cut off all Pennsylvania funding for those fucking schools.
Fuck him.
He literally created a law for my entire state for that. That is peak Zio. That is peak. This dude is so fucking racist. And the fact that he is even saying a damn thing like a bitch, he's talking about Chris Robb, obviously. And Chris Robb is a man of color, so he needs to shut the fuck up. I don't even know what. Oh, he makes me so fucking mad. But that's okay, because we protest his stupid fucking mansion all the time, and we're not going to stop.
Hells yeah. All right, we got our next video here. Oh, no, not Debbie Wasserman Black.
Oh, my God.
And frustrated
I can't stand her.
over, again, another potential deal, a negotiation where we're going to unfreeze Iranian assets and give them billions of dollars to be able to control proxies again and to rebuild their ballistic missile program, never mind their drone program, which is incredibly deadly, and they've been increasing their drone capability. So this is deeply concerning. And look, I'm glad that Iran their capability militarily has been degraded. But if what we get from this initial deal is just going back to where we were before, where Iran did not control the Strait of Hormuz, then what has been accomplished? I am concerned.
Blah. Trying to outflank the freaking Republicans.
Yes.
From the right.
Is like, she triggers me. Like, well, because we were protesting in 100-degree heat at Occupy DMC. But like, bitch is still elected. What the fuck? Now, I just saw the other day that she's running in a district that she doesn't even live in now, and it's a black district. And she's trying to take over. If you don't like Trump, you should hate this bitch, because she's one of the top reasons we have him.
Well,
why
think about
people still vote for her?
She's a center right warmonger, like neoliberal, trying to literally attack. She's attacking Donald Trump here, being like, "Why aren't you more warlike?"
Yeah,
like she's attacking him from the right. You guys, like, why would you want this? Fuck, I hate these Democrats. At least these kinds of Democrats. I don't hate them all, but people like her, I can't fucking stand.
Yeah, she triggers me, and
Same.
I'm not gonna say what else.
Well, let's calm down. Let's have a nice, soothing, relaxing video. Maybe a video with like a nice outdoorsy scene where everything looks green and calm. Nothing can go wrong. Just take a nice.
President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No.
That President Trump has said a deal.
No one likes firecrackers anymore. What's the
That
deal?
is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I watched this video before I heard what happened. But you know what? I'm not seeing anyone fucking talking about this. Is it just the people I follow, or like, is this not?
The thing is, and it's crazy. Like, if you actually look at the polling on it, Trump's losing like people's belief in reality because Trump is such a shit person. So literally you've got, I forget what the percentages were, but like a larger chunk than ever before of Republicans saying they think that these shootings are false flags, and an even larger group of Democrats. And again, we need evidence to prove that these are false flags. We can't just, sadly believe in whatever makes us, affirm our strongest beliefs or whatever. Reality is still reality, guys. Even if Republicans have tried to reverse that, we need objective reality, folks, please. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm losing my train of what I was getting at.
I just think there's been remarkably little coverage on this, which is weird.
Well, it's because of the way I see it. Donald Trump is the boy who cried wolf, but as a world leader. And every day he's crying wolf about every fucking topic imaginable, to the point where Donald Trump just screaming at the top of his lungs has become just like this annoying drone in the background of your everyday life. So now, instead of this being like, oh my God, this is a massive event, now it just feels like another day ending in Y, because every day is a fucking shit show with Donald Trump. Every fucking day.
Exactly.
It's like people are goddamn exhausted. I saw one person, they commented this. They said, hey, did you hear that somebody shot up the White House? And the guy responded with a sigh, okay. It's just like, yeah, it's just another day, right?
Yep, pretty much.
We're all fucking done. We're all fucking over it. So that's why it's hard to like, there isn't like focused news anymore. Everything is just like, I don't know. It feels like a 5 minute like recap of everything that's happening every 5 minutes.
It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, is something like that. Jesus. Well, let's continue on. God, that was terrifying. Oh, I saw this one. This one's fun.
Thank you for saying something that Christians that they're killing. You know, the churches that we're bombing too. Thank you so much. I endorse 100%. Thank you, Americans. Please keep funding our genocide. Thank you, Americans.
It's a very big tent.
Holy Booker percentage.
It's a very big
Holy
tent.
Booker. 2026. Let's go.
You funded a genocide, and you talk about values. You voted to send bombs to Israel, and you're talking about love and values here, and children in your neighborhood. Children in your neighborhood get Twinkies and apples. They don't get bombed while going to get them. You took $800,000 from AIPAC.
We were just in the National Cathedral disrupting an event by Cory Booker and John Meacham. They were talking about their deep Christian faith, while obviously Cory Booker has been taking money from AIPAC and other Israel interest groups, and silent about the killing of Christians in Gaza, Christian children in Gaza, the bombing all of the churches in Gaza. We disrupted that event, made sure that there was no peace while Gaza is still under siege.
Yeah, Booker is such a hypocrite. The things that he talked about inside would make you either laugh, cry, or bang your head against the wall. He talked about love, he talked about faith, he talked about the well-being of children in his neighborhood in Newark. He talked about how they, don't have healthy things to eat and they have to choose between Twinkies and apples, and Twinkies are cheaper. My question was, what about the children in Gaza? That he's funding. He's been funding bombs to, and he talked about money being thrown at politicians from PACs when he's taken almost $900,000 from AIPAC, from foreign lobby, and he has the nerve to sit here and talk about corrupt politicians taking money from PACs.
Yeah.
You know who I loathe even more than Cory Booker?
Who?
All those motherfuckers who clapped and cheered when these gentlemen were being taken out.
Yeah.
They are worse.
It really is disheartening because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, do you disagree with their critique?
Yeah.
Because their critique is correct. So what's
don't disrupt their royalty. This is no place for democracy. Oh, I mean, this is Democrats. They stand for democracy. Now shut the fuck up and sit down.
Yeah, right. God damn.
Ugh.
Well, let's keep it rolling. It looks like, oh God, this motherfucker, Blinken. There's a special hot tub full of lava in hell just for Blinken. I believe this.
Oh, you'll like this.
You had opportunities to distance yourself and your administration from arming Israel, which has committed what leading Holocaust scholars and human rights agencies call a genocide. You rejected them and continued arming Israel. This is your legacy. How do you justify to the countless Palestinians, including thousands of children that died, from your decisions? And just to share the point, I'm going to read off the names of children who died in Gaza due to the actions. So these are people who are 1-year-old, killed before they could take their first steps. Ayla Ali Obeid, Salahuddin Abu Layla, Adam Warshaga, 1 year old, Jowd, and it goes on, thousands and thousands of names. How do you reconcile with this, and how do you reconcile with your legacy?
So, as we were talking about before, this is something that I grappled with and will continue to grapple with for as long as I can see into the future. Should we have done things differently such that the suffering that people endured, the loss of the children that you just listed and so many others, could have been averted? And the short answer is maybe yes. You couldn't be, and I wouldn't be human if I didn't ask myself every day, could we have done things differently? The one thing I want to suggest to you as well, and I mentioned this earlier, is I believe, and look, maybe I'm wrong, that the nature of the trauma in Israel, which is, there's no hierarchy of trauma. The trauma in Israel, the trauma among Palestinians, the same. The loss of a Palestinian life, the loss of an Israeli life, the same. But on the Israeli side, the trauma was such that I believe the determination across that society to take the actions that they took in Gaza was such that irrespective of what we did, they would have continued to do what they did.
You
And
funded
cutting
it.
off arms, sure, that was an option, but I don't actually believe that, at least in the near term, it would have changed things. And I also believe it would have led to an even wider war as Israel's enemies, and they were multiple, jumped in, and that only would have extended the war in Gaza, not ended the war in Gaza. I fully, more than respect, I empathize with people who felt this so deeply. I do remain with a question in my mind about why barely a word was spoken in all those months about Hamas, which was an actor too, and is responsible for so much of what happened. But yes, we all look at it. I certainly look at it and say, maybe we could have done differently. Maybe we could have done better by the people. I wish we could have.
Dude has resting head on pike face. All right, that's all I have to say.
He himself literally said, like 2 months after this shit started, like 2 months after October 7th, Bibi literally said, if it wasn't for Biden and the US, this would have stopped in November. He said they had 1 month of money and weapons. That's it. So, sir.
Yeah.
First of all, that dude has brass balls to do a town hall. Like, holy shit. Like, that's fucking ballsy, man. To be like, yo, I'm hated so much, I'm gonna do a town hall. And I will say, I was incredibly surprised they didn't cut that guy off. I thought for sure when he's like, I'm going to start reading the names, I thought for sure someone was going to yank that mic out of his mouth.
That's funny when he said, I'm going to start reading these names, I could hear the SpongeBob voice in my head going like 87 hours later. You know, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, this will never stop if you do that. This will never stop. Like, so evil. So fucked up. Yeah, I can't stand Anthony Blinken. I was just talking with Colin in the comments section about how I despise his little fake rock and roll band. Oh God, the things that I hope for that gentleman. I can't speak. I shouldn't even think, but I'm thinking it harder than I've ever thought anything
Ain't no
before.
gentleman there.
No gentleman. No, he's a demon. A demon who plays guitar. Cool.
That's like Beto's punk because he's skateboards, dude.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. What else do we got? Man, that is triggering. Thanks for that, Joy.
Okay, but also if an Israeli life is the same as a Palestinian life, and this one had like 1,000, even though most of those were Israeli lives. And this one has like 1,000, and this one has like 1,000,000. They're not even.
No, I'm looking forward to when Israel finally wises up and realizes that they're about to be smashed from every corner of the earth at once. And they do like the war is over. We're realizing it's time that we need to make peace with our neighbors. We gotta figure this out. I want to see them begging for peace. I can't wait.
Never
I can't
gonna happen.
fucking wait.
Never.
You don't think so? Like you've seen this, like they've got these fiber optic drone things now that are basically like flying video cameras with a physical cable, so they can't be shut down. So like this is how they've gotten through the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome has basically been useless. And it's like, so now they've just put up some, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars for new technology to try to combat these new like cabled drones. But they're brilliant because for like a few $1,000s, you can take out $100 million like anti-missile installation. And they're doing that.
I just, the terror state of Israel is such that even if they were like, it started to look like Palestine, they would never admit defeat. They would never say they were wrong. They would never apologize. They would never, there's no humility there. They aren't humble. They are not reflective. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. True. Well, let's keep rolling here. We're running a little over tonight, so I'm going to try to zip through these videos a little quicker here.
You are so timely with your responses to things. One thing that comes to mind is the white Jewish woman who used to work with the Obamas, who wrote this book as a Jew.
Sarah Hurwitz.
Yeah. This woman, Sarah Hurwitz, was talking about why young Jews are so mad and defecting from, I wouldn't even say Judaism, actually. I would say defecting from Zionism.
Yeah.
That's right. She was like blaming the horrific images, and she used very reckless, dehumanizing language, objectifying Palestinians about a genocide occurring upon them right now that we're still seeing in real time.
She said, young Jewish people have taken the wrong lessons from Holocaust education. She's saying the way that they are empathizing with Palestinians living under an Israeli genocide is evidence that they took the wrong lessons from Holocaust education. No, what you should have learned was that you should solely have empathy for Jews facing persecution, not for anyone else, especially when the persecution they're facing is from Jews. And I just what a bastardization of what I
we're
believe
supposed to learn from the Holocaust,
which is that genocide is wrong when it happens to anyone.
That's right. And that we're all connected, and never again means never again for anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Never again a genocide against anybody is what it means to be Jewish.
Yeah.
Truly.
I kept saying, Sarah Hurwitz was on this book tour, and it felt like every day there was a new video coming from where she's speaking on a stage and saying just the most egregious, heartless, dehumanizing anti-Palestinian racism. And I said when I was making those videos about her, I hope she keeps speaking. Unfortunately, her press tour did eventually end, but she was such a useful individual because she was being very open about what the Zionist project actually is.
That's right.
And she didn't have a lot of the great, I call them Hasbaristas, but basically propagandists for Israel. They are very good at.
Hasbaristas? What's Haz?
So Hasbara is, I believe it's the Hebrew word for understanding. But Hasbara is generally known inside and outside of Israel as the story that Israel tells the world about itself. Israelis will use this word as well.
Copy that.
But it's sort of become a pejorative in anti-Zionist circles because Hasbara is basically propaganda.
Copy that. And actually, let me just walk.
Yeah, that's pretty wild stuff. I do love to see that they're recognizing it and they're okay, let's use this as a teaching moment. But man, that's so sad. So sad to have these people who were thought leaders of that we thought for compassion being no, you got the wrong lesson from the Holocaust. Only feel empathy for Jews, and only Jews that are having something done to them. Don't feel for something that is being done by the Jews. Don't feel empathy for that. What?
Palestine, Palestinians are Semites. I feel like I always have to remind people of that. If you're shitting on Palestinians, you're anti-Semitic. If you're saying burn it down, you're anti-Semitic. Dios mío.
No, that's wild, but I'm glad that they're using it as a teaching moment to educate other people hey, this is so wrong. Yeah. Wow. Well, let's keep it going.
Whatever his name is, just wins. And his one campaign promise is to draft your son and send him to Iran, but he wins anyway. How did he win? Well, obviously people were just so thrilled by the idea of a draft that they just lifted Ed Galroon onto their shoulders and carried him across the finish line. And then they all streamed into the victory hall for beers and high fives and maybe some brats. You imagine that must have happened. People woke up one morning and realized we need Ed Galroon, the draft guy. And we're thrilled he got it. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a peek at what Election HQ last night at Ed's victory party actually looked like. Covered a lot of victory parties in my life, a lot. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. There's no one there. So how'd this guy win? Well, he won on mail-in ballots. And we'll sort of leave it to online sleuths to determine whether that's legitimate or not. Who knows? Because if you're willing to pour tens of billions of dollars into a Republican primary in the 4th District of Kentucky, you're probably willing to do whatever it takes. And maybe they did. We don't know that, not alleging it. But we do know that's not what democracy looks like. So this guy...
Yeah, I saw videos from the headquarters and for the victory speech, everything. There was maybe 20 people.
Yeah, and they all look like employees.
Yeah, and at Massey's thing, there was hundreds and hundreds of people.
It looked like a fucking rally.
Yeah, like a rock concert or something. Yeah. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, so how did the dude who got double the votes or whatever have no supporters at his event, but the guy who, even though did you look at the numbers? Massey actually got, I think it was like a 12% bump on the number of votes that he got in the previous primary when he secured his position. So he increased his voter threshold. It's just that the other guy
he did file the paperwork to run for House now.
Yeah, I saw that. It's incredible stuff. Like when you look at the actual numbers in Kentucky, basically the amount of voters in that primary doubled from the historical norm to all go and vote for Ed Gowrain. It's like, it's really weird. They doubled their
you should
primary
vote for
turnout.
someone promising to draft you and your kids. Duh.
Sure. And again, like we can't prove that it was rigged, but holy crap, it is kind of wild to see the voting numbers double and they all go for Ed Gowrain.
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird.
I couldn't even tell you what the guy's name was before he won. I mean, people didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, he not only came out of nowhere, but we talked about this in a previous show. When he was asked about his credentials, like, hey, what do you bring to the table? What is your job experience? He was like, oh, I'm a Navy SEAL, so classified. But trust me, ask Donald Trump. He'll tell you I'm a good guy. That was his entire explainer on who he is and what work he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would anyone vote for that? That's like deep state, like the definition. If you were to look it up in the dictionary, it's like a picture of this dude saying that. I don't know. It's weird. So we got one more video in this topic here.
The activist who shouted at Ben Gvir and was then attacked by Israeli forces has just spoke about what happened whilst they were in Israel, and it's really bad. She said after she shouted at Ben Gvir, she was taken into solitary confinement and then possibly attacked. But so it makes sense. First, 2 days ago, Ben Gvir, the Israeli security minister, posted a video on Twitter that went super viral of him mocking the people who came in on the Gaza aid flotilla and were then arrested and taken captive in Israel. That video showed over 100 activists being put into stress positions and things like that. But one of the main things it showed was one activist shouting, quote, free Palestine, as Ben Gvir walked past.
Free Palestine!
She was then pushed to the floor and attacked in the video. But we now know what happened to her after that moment, now that she's been deported. She said, quote, given the horrific crimes that he has committed, when I saw him coming past, I could not stay silent. The report said that after she shouted that at Ben Gvir, she was, quote, dragged away and placed in isolation, where about 8 Israeli commandos stood around her talking in Hebrew. She then said, quote, so I was preparing myself for anything that could happen next. She then said, quote, it was not too violent, thankfully, especially compared to what many others have experienced. So she said that she wasn't treated too badly compared to what other people in the flotilla were. But this is just one example of over 150 aid activists who were arrested in Israel and have now been deported. But it's interesting that we've now gotten her side of the story after we've seen the video that went super viral.
So I don't know if you've been following like all the people of the flotilla, but like the last thing I read about it, up to 15 of them now have claimed that they were essayed while in their detention. It's so goddamn terrifying. Like I couldn't imagine the level of bravery it would take to deliver yourself like wrapped in a bow to like the Nazis, to just for them to do whatever sadistic shit they want to you. I can't imagine.
If you guys want to see my interview with a gentleman who was on the flotilla with Greta Thunberg, his name is Ty Hickey. He's an Irish gent. I had him on about a month or so ago, and he talked about his experience on the flotilla and being captured by the terrorist state of Israel and things like that. And definitely check out that interview. It was definitely one of my favorites I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I feel for these folks. From what I was reading about it, like they had 20 plus bone fractures, like all kinds of beatings, bruisings, like just absolute viciousness. Absolute viciousness. Well, we've got our next topic here. So let's jump in.
They used artificial intelligence to create a video, lifelike video, that showed me checking into a hotel room with AOC and Ilhan Omar and holding hands with them. It was actually very effective on the boomers. But here's the thing, Kristen, that's only going to work for a little bit longer. The boomers are going to, leave this country to the Gen X and the Gen Z and the Gen Y and the millennials. And those folks are the ones that I won overwhelmingly. That makes me really hopeful for this country. They don't get fooled by artificial intelligence, and they check the news. They get news sources like from podcasts and other sources. So they won this race by fooling my voters and expanding the base of people who vote to the uninformed voters. They used artificial intelligence to create a video.
All right, hold on. Okay, I just have to say, it's not the indictment that it sounds like to me, to be like, hey, Thomas Massey banged two of the hottest Democrats in the whole party.
Wait, who is it? AOC and who else?
And Ilhan. He was holding their hands, walking them into a
I
hotel.
didn't see Ilhan.
Yeah, it's AOC and Ilhan.
Oh my
He was
God, I
holding
can't.
each of their hands, walking
Dude.
into the hotel room together. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
but that's funny because I never even heard about this or saw the video because I'm not in Kentucky. So, that kind of explains it. I didn't see it online. But the thing that made me crack up so bad about this video is he called the people who believe this boomers.
Yeah.
Dude is like at least in his 50s. So hearing him say boomers was like,
Gen X get to say boomers. It was nice. I liked it.
that was fucking epic. But this is like some shit where it's like, oh my God. See, what's going to happen is these older people, when they start, lack of a better term, dying off, they're not going to be able to do these commercials and these campaign ads and shit like this on TV. They're going to do it online, and people are going to be able to research if it's fake, and it's going to get a lot harder to do shit like this.
Well, there should be laws to stop this. I knew it was coming as AI was getting better, and that's one of the most egregious cases I've seen so far, because I'm sure maybe somewhere in that video, there it is at the very end, this satirical ad was created with artificial intelligence. It's like, but it's the fine print.
Yeah,
It's
but
fine
how
print.
did they? Are you sure that was there by them?
Well,
That
I
could
don't
have been
know.
Put on afterwards.
But that's what I'm saying. It's so alarming. It's like that you can just be like, oh, here's Thomas Massey in a 3-way romantic tryst. Like, that sucks. Like, it should not. You
And
should
he's
not
not
be
wearing
able.
a baseball cap or like, a mask or anything. He's just like, hey guys, I'm in my suit. Look
Yeah,
at
exactly.
us.
I'm surprised they didn't put him in a T-shirt that says "I am Thomas Massey."
I am Thomas Massey. I am.
And I am ready to get it on. Yeah. God damn it. That is so wild. I did not see that one coming, Joy. I did not know that we had the hilarious video in existence. Wow. Wow. Well, we've got more news here. And then I'll take you to the good news land. Yes, I brought good news tonight. So we got for you. Oh, this is good news. Clarence Thomas could be charged with felony tax fraud on Monday, and prosecutors already have the evidence. For years, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas accepted a stunning stream of luxury gifts from billionaire Republican donor Harlan Crow. Private jet flights, lavish vacations, yacht trips, elite resort stays, tuition payments, and even a $250,000 RV. Hey, don't forget the free house that they bought for his mom. Anyway, now legal experts say that those gifts may have exposed Thomas to something far more serious than an ethics scandal, a felony tax fraud charge in Virginia. So, yeah, that's cool. That's
and
good
my
news.
comment when I shared this is it's a good thing Biden completely bullied Anita Hill and sent this fucker through.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, thanks, Joe Biden, for backing this piece of shit. Yup. Well, you brought good news, so I guess I'm going to continue the good news train. So here's more good news. Big voting rights win. A federal court just blocked Alabama from using a congressional map that judges previously found intentionally discriminated against Black voters and ordered the state to keep using the court-drawn map with 2 Black opportunity districts for the 2026 elections. So that's huge.
Are they giving the people their seats back, though?
I think so, because they're going back to the original map. But I don't know how it works. I'm still trying to figure out how, like, none of this makes any goddamn sense. We literally had all these Supreme Court rulings and all these, constitutional amendments that were specifically put in place to prevent the very situation we now find ourselves in. So it's tough, But that's some good news that they've stopped those 2 seats from getting stolen from Black voters in that state, which is just so evil that they would even try it. More good news. Get ready for this one. Mamdani announces plan to build 200,000 new affordable homes. Yes, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani unveiled his long-anticipated plan on Tuesday that he said will confront the city's housing crisis with the urgency it demands, setting out the goal of building and preserving up to 400,000 affordable housing units, aimed at driving down housing costs in one of the nation's most expensive rental markets. The mayor described his program titled Block by Block, a housing plan for a new era, one that will set about meeting 2 of the most ambitious housing targets in modern New York City. So, yeah, he's actually putting his money where his mouth is, and he's actually launching maybe the biggest housing program I've seen in New York in my lifetime.
And he also just got everyone free pre-K in New York. By taxing the billionaires. I forget how much debt New York was in, but it's now at 0.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that amazes me. Everybody talked about, Mamdani will bankrupt New York and all the rich people will leave. Well, he balanced the budget and more rich people are now moving into New York. It's instead of what was promised, which was the other way around, that they'd be abandoning like rats out of a ship. Well, there we go. So Colin makes a point here, which it's good to bring it up as a counter. He said he thinks the Mamdani plan is a developer bailout, that NYC doesn't need new housing. It needs rent caps on its existing units it already has. And
Bingo.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Absolutely.
But then it's also, like personally, I would like to see a lot of these obnoxious business office buildings that are empty because you can do work from home now with everybody's got remote, and turn those into it'll take a lot of renovating costs, but that's part of government, renovate those office buildings, turn them into livable apartments. It's like, house these motherfucking people. If you want a society where someone makes you a latte in the morning, you got to make sure that they're able to, not live in their car doing it. It's going to be hard for them to look good and make you a latte if they've been sleeping in a car like this all night. You get what I'm saying? You have to have enough human compassion that you see everyone working your city as being worthy of living therein. I've never understood why people are so anti poor when literally they are the backbone of their entire goddamn society. I never understood it. It's weird. Anyway, let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, I think this was like a bonus. Well, we'll skip that because we're over. But this is a little bonus Mamdani bit here. Mayor Mamdani also has required ICE to obtain a court warrant before entering any New York City property. So, yeah, that's huge. Again, what he's doing is he is showing that the inaction of the Democratic Party was manufactured. It was self-imposed. It was there to make you think that we just can't make any forward momentum, guys. It's just not possible. Mamdani is getting shit done right now. And he's making all the Democrats that throw their hands up and say, I can't do nothing now. I'm in power. He's making them look like fucking idiots. Because he's getting shit done. One thing that's
super cool is this weekend he didn't go to the terrorist state of Israel parade in New York. And that was the first time in like 70 something years.
Isn't it like the I Love Israel parade or something like that? It's like literally called that. Isn't it called like the I Love Israel parade or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, he didn't go.
Yeah. Cool.
His staff also removed on his website all of the information that said connecting New York's donations to Israel. I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be quite honest, because I feel like it's kind of not transparent to show that they do give money to certain things in Israel. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but some people are saying it's good. He's not advertising that, they give money to a terrorist state. I don't know. I'm always very skeptical of everyone, including him.
Yes. And, Colin's being skeptical as well, but that's okay. I think it's good. It's good to be skeptical of politicians because you want to make sure these people are actually getting shit done. You can't just idolize them and hope that they're going to get it done, or you're going to end up in another Obama situation. So Colin, he had just said, well, are these administrative warrants or judicial warrants? And that's huge. But thank goodness it is judicial warrants. So according to, this is from Common Dreams, they said that he signed this executive order on Friday, barring immigration and customs enforcement and other agencies from entering properties without getting a warrant from a judge. So it does require a judicial warrant. Awesome. So yeah, again, a huge step that every goddamn city across America should be making. Mamdani leading the way. So, hey, no problem, Colin. So cool. That is our good news. I wanted to share good news because we don't get enough of that, I swear. I swear. Now, we are down to our funnies. So are you ready for a funny, Joy?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to start you out with this one. I still can't even believe this is real. I don't even know if I told you I was playing this tonight, so get ready. RFK Jr. was at Dr. Oz's house, and there were snakes on the patio at Dr. Oz's house. So I'm now going to show you the video.
Oh my gosh, he ate one.
What?
He ate one.
No, just watch. Wait till you see. Wait till you see what happens next.
Why?
So what are they?
He's grabbing him and they're just biting the shit out of him.
Well, they were having sex, so what were they? They're not sex.
Moccasins. Those are dangerous.
They're not moccasins.
Huh?
They're not moccasins.
Oh. Okay,
get out of
Are they biting?
Yeah.
Jesus, the mouths are huge.
Please. Please.
Here, come.
I thought for sure he was going to eat them. Because what is it with him and animals? There should be a protection order against.
Yeah, restraining order.
Like he just.
Joy, there are some people who look at RFK Jr. and they think, what happened to him? Is it because of the brain worm? But I argue, no. It's because he was already like this that he ended up getting brain worms because he's always doing shit like this.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they were biting the shit out of him, the ever-loving shit out of him.
Wow,
And
they
he's
have
just like,
big mouths.
I don't know. It's just like if I see a snake, I don't suddenly think that I'm like what was the Australian dude's name that was always like grabbing every fucking animal he saw? Yeah, Steve Irwin. All right, look at this snake. I was getting real angry now. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did he say they're having sex?
Yes, they were having
That's
sex.
Oh God.
So needless
Look
to
at
say,
They
RFK
got
Jr.
big mouths.
I just want to point out that right now in this moment, you're seeing RFK Jr. at his most sexually aroused. He is
Yeah.
really into this. He is really into this.
And one of the grossest things ever, so of course I'm going to repeat it because it just, it's stuck in my mind forever. Between the trash panda raccoon, between the bear in the woods, between the falcon and all the other animals he's defiled. The most disturbing one was the whale. His daughter said that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
His daughter said that he cut the part of a whale and put it on the hood or on the top of the car, and that whale juice was dripping into the car the entire ride home. He took it home.
Yeah. I want to remind everyone that this whole like RFK Jr. weird animal thing, it all started when we found out that he staged the dead baby bear crime scene in the park in New York City.
Yeah.
Like he created a fake bike crash dead baby bear accident scene.
Oh my God.
Who is that? What is wrong with him? What is actually wrong with this dude? I've never heard of anybody like this.
Of health.
Okay, this is a hot take, but I don't think not eating seed oils is going to fix this. I don't think that cooking your fries in tallow is going to fix this, Joy. There's something really wrong with this dude.
Okay, well, what about getting in a hot tub with jeans on?
He's the never nude, like from what was that show? Damn it, I can't think of the one right now. But yeah, he's got a condition where he can't ever be naked, so he has to wear his jeans.
He does all that time working out, and then he's like, "I'm going in this hot tub with my jeans on. It's not weird."
It's the weirdest of weird. All right, we got one more video. It's super cute. Does it have music? Should I mute it? Because we got in trouble last time there was music in a video.
No, it's not music.
Okay, cool. Then we'll unmute it. But it looks cute.
So handsome. Let's see you smile. Yeah. A pretty smile.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Say cheese. 3, 2, 1. Cheese.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hey.
Smile, got it. Smile. Smile.
All right. Let me get smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese.
Good morning, Maggie. Oh my goodness.
Good morning.
Smiling girl. Smile. Good boy. Smile.
War. We're not at war. War is hell.
This isn't a. That's pretty good.
That's the one that kills me.
It's like he's like, and I'm not gonna smile. I'm gonna give you a whole mood right there. It's like a ha ha.
Like a Surprise.
good.
I've watched
That was
that like 200 times.
That's
I'm
cute.
obsessed with that dog at the end. And the one at the shelter who's like, and she's like,
This makes me so happy. We both brought cute videos. You brought cute dogs, and I brought cute fucking snakes biting the shit out of RFK Jr.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's real nice.
Oh my God.
Well, I have a final closer video that you had sent me, but we probably want to do our all our closing stuff first, right?
Yes, we're going to do our closing first. And then I have a video I made yesterday that I have not shown yet. That is incredibly important because tomorrow is an anniversary of a very, very important day. So I made this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow night, I have some of you guys know I wrote a book about a gentleman, Temujin Kensu. I have his partner on my show tomorrow night. She is Australian. She just moved here a few months ago to Michigan to help get him out. So she is coming on my show tomorrow. And then I have Quinn O'Flynn, otherwise known as Quinn the Eskimo, on next Tuesday before our show. You guys would definitely know who he is. Josh, you missed his video. I put it in here. I don't know what letter it is, but anyway, you guys will know him when you see him. He's incredible, and he has a bajillion subscribers, so I guarantee you'll know who he is. But he's a wonderful man, and he lives in Egypt. He will be joining me Tuesday night, but definitely tune in tomorrow for my show with Deb.
All right. Well, you know, as we do every week, we have a tradition here at the Capitalist Death Parade where we name our Grand Marshal of the Capitalist Death Parade, the worst person in the world who's marching capitalism off that terrible cliff. Who has earned the title of Grand Marshal this week, Joy? What do you think?
I think I'm going to go Blinken.
Blinken, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough shit. I feel like he should get even half the shit that we gave to oh God, his name is blanking on me right now. Passed away recently. Former head of state. Anyway, forgetting his name. But the point being, I feel it sucks that Blinken. What was it? Kissinger. Thank you. My brain exploded. I used to know who Kissinger was, and then I smoked marijuana. But anyways, no, Kissinger was like absolutely atrocious, and I feel like dude has earned a spot of getting at least half the guff that we gave Kissinger, but he doesn't get it. He seems to just get off, and I don't like that. I think Blinken needs to be like every restaurant he goes to, every time he goes to a club to play his little music thing, people should be there being like, you are a piece of shit. Like everywhere he goes, that would make my life better. I'm with you. I think Blinken's earned his spot at the front of this parade this week. Fuck you, Anthony Blinken. Here from us here at the Capitalist Death Parade.
And our opinion matters to him. I guarantee it.
Oh, he's crying his little eyes out right now. He's like, why?
Crying in the fetal position, bitch. You twat, waffle, twat, waffle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We have wasted another week with insane news, and my God, it was insane this week. Before we go, we do have one final video, so I'm going to throw the video, and then we'll say adios. Here we go. I sent it to you. You got to toss it up for us if you would.
Yeah, we're going to put this up, and this is our audio. So please stay tuned to watch this video, though, and tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for my show with Debbie. All right.
And we'll see y'all next week here on the Capitalist Death Parade. Roll it, Joy.
Much love, everyone. Thank you. Smash like and subscribe.
That's me heralding your movie.
Where's my big button. The hottest button's a button.
Who's got the button?
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, Joy Marie Mann here. I have a very important message I really want you guys to learn. This week is the 40th anniversary of the incarceration of prisoner Temujin Kensu. Temujin is accused of shooting the mayor's son 40 years ago, one time in the side. Now, first, the issue is he has 17 witnesses. He was almost 500 miles away. They took him in, didn't read him his rights, wouldn't take a statement, and he has been in prison 40 years this week. He has mounds of proof he's innocent of this crime. He has 8 innocence organizations which have his back. He has celebrities like Muhammad Ali's daughter, Kalia Ali. He has the lead advocate of the Supreme Court of India tweeting about his case. His case is truly unbelievable, yet real. This man turned 63 on yesterday. He went in at 23. 4 decades of his life has been stolen from him. He not only is in a cage unjustly, he has a brain tumor and he is being denied treatment. He also has other disabilities and also denied his treatment. He has been shoved in solitary and given no reason. He has been set up by corrections. He deals with a daily fight. And it's our job to spread his story. I went to visit him in prison. I flew out to Michigan and I had 4 hours with him and interviewed him on every topic you can imagine. And while there, I was working on my book about his story. I've interviewed him for 6 years, and nobody has ever written a book about his story in 40 years. I felt obligated because it is absolutely insane. And he is so clearly innocent of this crime. I wrote this book called Our Friend Temujin, The Wrongful Conviction of Temujin Kensu. Not sure why that cut off, but you guys, please get the book. Tomorrow is 40 years, and you can get it at Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. Just type in Joy Marie Mann. And also tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Thanks so much. Much love, everyone.
Peace and love, y'all. See you next week and see you tomorrow.